I saw Grums post this originally, so shout out to him. This is from Kebis. He says, Helen Andrews drops a bombshell. The 2020 woke explosion wasn't random hysteria. It was feminization hitting critical mass in institutions. Her thesis, wokeness equals feminine patterns of behavior, consensus, relationships, making everyone happy, applied to places that flipped majority female around the same time. Law schools tipped majority female in 2016. New York Times staff, 55% female by 2018. Managers are now 46% women. Coincidence or cause? A 3-minute and 11-second clip, mind-bending take. Let's hear what she has to say.
But I am saying that feminization has caused one specific particular problem, and that is wokeness. Like a lot of people, I was baffled by the woke phenomenon. Why did...
It really is. It's always dudes with severe low T or women that are feminists. 100% direct correlation to being woke and pushing woke ideology and communistic mindset.
Everyone seemingly go crazy all at once in the summer of 2020. It was inexplicable. It seemed to be mass hysteria, genuinely. And the more I thought about what caused it, which is a very important question, because if we know what causes it, we know how to prevent it from happening in the future. I read an article.
The craziest part about this is coming from a white woman. Like this is somebody that saw what was happening and was smart enough to be like, yikes.
That someone else wrote that put forward a really simple, elegant thesis, which is that wokeness is simply feminine patterns of behavior applied to institutions where women had not been very well represented until recently. Women tend to...
So it's almost like a course correction, like the pendulum swinging back hard for women, finally after hundreds of human history never having any opportunities to now having the opportunities, and they have no idea what to do with the power that they've been given.
Be more consensus focused, consensus oriented. Men, when they're approaching a moral question, will ask, what are the facts? What are the rules? Mm-hmm. Whereas women will say, what are the relationships at play here? How can we make everybody happy? Mm-hmm. How can we reach an outcome that will satisfy all the parties?
Which would explain why they don't care about facts, why they want to create their own reality, create and push their own truth, which is why the gender ideology comes into play with all this too. Believe me when I tell you what I am. Don't look at the science of what I actually am, because it's my truth that overrides reality.
As opposed to the male perspective of how do we reach an outcome that is just and according to the rules. That sounded a lot like wokeness to me. And the sort of piece that made it all click into place for me was the coincidence of timing. It is the case, just we can all agree as a matter of fact, that a lot of institutions that went woke or were affected by wokeness became demographically female.
Yeah. Higher education, game journalism. Yep.
In the last 5 years.
Yep.
Law schools in America turned majority female in 2016.
Law schools too. Yikes. That set the bar for what's allowed and what's not in society.
And they've gotten a little bit more female every year since then. I think now it stands at 55, 56%. The New York Times became majority female in its workforce in 2018.
Oh yeah, Hollywood too. Yep.
Which is maybe why it was so susceptible to the fads of wokeness and the internal policing and the Slack revolts that took place.
I mean, I guess in layman's term, the irony of the woman admitting all this is she's basically saying that it's women's fault.
Internally over there. Medical schools are now majority female. The white collar workforce overall, employees in the United States with college degrees, a majority of them are women. And managers, management positions in the US workforce, 46% female, so almost majority female. So the fact that all of these institutions tipped over to being majority female around the same time that wokeness emerged seemed to me that couldn't possibly be a coincidence. And one of the most consistent psychological differences between men and women is women have a strong impulse of caring, right? Which is exactly, I'm not somebody who looks to evolutionary biology for the solutions to all human phenomena. But this particular one does seem glaringly Darwinian, right? That women see helpless things and they want to take care of them. That is definitely something that...
Yeah, that's the maternal instinct of a mother. Yes.
Darwin would find a pretty easy explanation for. But that's also something that wokeness can easily weaponize.
Yep.
It means that if you can frame your political issue as a way of caring for some helpless class, then you're golden, right?
Minorities are babies.
That's right. But that is precisely what's going on at a deeper level.
So this is explaining perfectly, and that was an excellent clip. Holy crap, mind-blowing. Very deep insight. She's a very intelligent woman. This explains perfectly how feminists, women, typically white, liberal, that hate men or think that all men are enemies. I mean, some of them might even get that tattooed on their ass. They hate it so much. Those types of women, nose ring wearing, cult-like following, use minorities as chess pieces to push morality. So if you were a minority, if you were someone who's Black or gay or any of the things that society looks at as traditionally like, oh, you're not on the pyramid of hierarchy or however the fuck the feminists look at the world, they are using you to make you feel like that's what the world is like. And you need their help to get over the hump and have a fair shot at society. When in reality, none of that actually exists. It really doesn't. If you present a great idea, intellect, you come forward with information that assists the situation, ain't no one give a fuck what you look like or what you do when you close the bedroom door. But they want you to believe that that's what's holding you back. I got to be honest, guys, there's so much holding everyone back in this world. The world will fuck you 6 times to Sunday and not apologize to you. Whether you're white, black, gay, trans, lesbian, it doesn't matter. Life sometimes just sucks for everyone. What they do is they weaponize it to make it feel like, oh, it never does that for other people. Or it always happens to you and not them. It's always you that deals with this. So we need to work with you, create marginalized groups, create these cliques together, push DEI, create illegal things in society to put people on pedestals to get places in life that they have no business being because they never got the education, experience, or work ethic to be there. Meanwhile, people that did do that are getting left behind because people that shouldn't be in those positions are being just placed there. And then once they get placed there, instead of looking at resumes and what people have for experience, they're like, we need more like-minded people, AKA diversity. You know, the people that think exactly like us, but all have different colored hairs and nose rings. Yeah, that's the diversity that they look for. And I guess I'll leave it at this because I found this kind of curious. I was doing a little bit of research after I saw this beginning of this clip earlier today. And I was like, well, the person that's currently suing me right now, I firmly believe is a feminist. And she used to write for Criminal Element, mysteries, thrillers, and all things killer. This is from Alyssa Mercante, December 16, 2015. So we're going back about just over 10 years here for an article from Alyssa. And the reason why I want to bring this up is because this article, even from 10 years ago, shows how she was going down this path of pushing gender ideology, sex, and women in everything, pushing a feminist perspective in society on how she writes as a quote unquote journalist that she presents herself as. When at the end of the day, all it comes down to is pushing an ideology. This is what I've been dealing with personally, being sued by one of these people. This is the type of stuff they do. She's trying to make an example of me to further her agenda as a feminist. Women having really good straight and queer sex on their terms. Watching a show and getting some quality that stuff out is quite rare for women like myself. Too often, these scenes are gratuitous ass shots, male characters plunging into secondary female characters. Like, first off, who writes like this? what is the audience for this? Why does this even happen? So I go into this even further, and I found this curious because if she tries to claim that she's not a feminist, which she absolutely is, even her back in the day, Alyssa Mercante is studying for her MA in modern and contemporary literature in the UK. If you want to see some vulgarity, follow, her on Twitter at Beer and Feminism on X, which when you go there, this account was created in 2017, which tells me that she abandoned that account and someone else picked it up in 2017 because this article was in 2016. But she even goes by Beer and Feminism back then. So again, I can't help but find the correlations when she tries to say the tattoo on her ass that says all men are enemies or whatever the fuck it says, that she's like, oh, it's a quote from Animal Farm or whatever. Like the fuck it is. Maybe it's a double entendre. I might give you that, but you can't be a feminist and get that tattooed on your ass and say you don't actually believe it. Like, come on now. What are we doing here? These are the type of people society is trying to keep at bay to make sure that there's an even playing field, because these people that I personally am being sued by, one of them, are dealing with constantly on a daily basis that is endangering my kids, my wife, my family, doxing me, suing me, threatening me, all these things that she is doing to me. She has been indoctrinated with a mind virus, and her brain continues to reinforce that what she's doing is justified. It's fucked. These people are completely fucked, in my humble opinion. But I'll leave that there.